How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Griff Dog's Diecast of the Week. And so, as you know, Diecast of the Week was part of Griff Talks, and now it's its own thing. Since it's now its own show, some things will be different. I'm going to review 2 cars instead of 1, and then I'm going to compare and contrast. Now, one thing I will do differently from the first episode is that I am changing up my grading system. Because when I grade the 2 cars, instead of grading them on a 100 scale, as I did in the previous episode, I am going to grade it on a 5-star rating. 1 star being poor, 2 being fair, 3 being good, 4 being great, 5 being excellent/perfect. And so the reason for this is simplicity. And so for quite a few years I've worked with art, and I know how art is critiqued and I know how art is graded. And so I want to do that with these cars. And so I'll take a good look at each of them, and then I'll talk about colors, design, and if the company that sponsors the car, if their message was thrown across or not, among other things. And so one thing before I start this episode, I just want to quickly tell you guys what my star ratings would be for the previous episodes. Elliott Sadler's 2003 car would have 5 stars, Brian Scott's car would have 3 stars, Chris Buescher's car would have 2 stars, Michael McDowell's would have 3 stars, Danica Patrick's 2016 car would have 3 stars, Carl Everett's 2006 car would have 3 stars, Jimmy Johnson's 2009 car would have 4, Bill Elliott's 1996 car would have 3 stars, Mark Martin's 2008 car would have 4 stars, Casey Mears' Squidward car would have 1 star, and then Matt Kenseth's and Ricky Rudd's tied cars would each have 4 stars respectively. Now down the road I'm probably going to do like a re-review of each of those cars, and I would explain more why I would give the star ratings that I have. But for right now, I want to move on, and I would like to review some new diecasts. So the very first car here of this episode is Danica Patrick's Nature's Bakery 2017 Ford Fusion. Now what's interesting about this car is that it will never race. Because of the deal that was going on between Nature's Bakery and Stewart-Haas, the lawsuit and all that fun stuff, Nature's Bakery has pulled their sponsorship from Stewart-Haas, thus making this car worthwhile. Now because I'm smart, I took the car out of its boxing, so it's decreased in value, but that's okay because I usually do that with all the cars anyway, and I like seeing the cars out of the box. So a quick little tour of the car. It is very, very blue. As you see, you got the 10 here on the side. Nature's Bakery is plastered pretty much everywhere around the entire car. Ford Fusion, as you know, because Stewart-Haas went over to Fords from Chevy. And as you can see, it is a very different car. Now to start things off, the one thing I do like about this car is a very unique blue. A very blue car, kind of like the Richard Petty blue, but it kind of stands on its own. And because of that, it definitely makes the car more unique. Now, one thing that I don't like about this car is the decals. Right here, and then on the back here, and then 1, 2, 3 on the back. And it's literally the same decal all the way around. Like literally nothing has changed on the decal placed everywhere. Like literally you just did the copy and paste feature on Photoshop and you threw it all across the entire car. And so because of that, and that could be a plus and a minus. The plus I do like about it is that the Nature's Bakery sign is pretty big on the side, but that's all there really is to make the car stand out. As you see on the front here, the Nature's Bakery logo is bigger, and so you can tell that it's a bakery company. But then the big downside is that there is no design to it. And so you can make the argument that there's no design, that's a design of it itself. Sometimes it works, but this car, it really doesn't. And the biggest reason why was because in 2016, that car had more design than this car, because the blues and the whites bounced off one another. But now since this is all blue, there's really nothing more that you can add to make the car really stand out. And then also too, that design is actually pretty darn cliche, like the basic design, because I don't think there's really intent or purpose to make it like bland and basic. And so because of that, I just don't think it works. So because of that, I'm going to give it 2 stars out of 5. Like I mean, I could tell that there was some, like, I guess, reason as to why to make it all blue, but I just don't think it works. So now on the same discussion of cars that actually never raced on the track, the second car that I want to talk about is Jeff Gordon's 2002 Looney Tunes Chevy. Now, this car was in practice and I think qualifying, correct me if I'm wrong, but this car never actually raced, like in the actual race, because a crash happened. And when Jeff Gordon crashed, their backup car was not this Looney Tunes scheme. It actually happened to be their normal flame paint scheme, which I'll review sometime later down the road. So, quick little tour. You got DuPont, you got Looney Tunes, you got a little sign here that says Rematch. And then it's not Chevy, it's the actual logo of the race, which is the Looney Tunes Rematch 400. Then on the side you got 24, Bugs Bunny, DuPont, and then you got the land here, which is the green grass, and then the blue, which is the sky, which I'll talk about later. Then you got DuPont Corian, and then DuPont Tyvek. Sorry if I said that wrong, on the back. And then on the side, Bugs Bunny, GMAC, and several other decals. Now the one thing I really like about this car is a good array of colors. You got several colors that play off of one another because you got the light blue up here, you got the grass here on the bottom, you got the dirt here, and then you got the Bugs Bunny, which is gray and white, and then the yellow 24 makes it stand out so much more. Also, the one thing that really adds to this car too is the decals, because there's a lot of them. You got Lowe's here, Fritos here, Pepsi, GMAC, DuPont, Bugs Bunny, and then you got different DuPonts, like different areas of DuPont, promoted here in the back. You got Bugs Bunny hiding back here in the back. More DuPont, and there's just so much that you can play with here on this car. And because it all balances out really well. Because there are sometimes you can have a bunch of logos and it just becomes overcrowded. This is one of those things where it does feel a little overcrowded, but it works. Now in terms of design, I love the idea of using land as a design. Because if you look really closely, like the hood of the car is pretty much like a cartoon backdrop. Because you got blue here, supposed to be the sky. Then you got little trees here. Then you got the hill. Then you got Bugs Bunny out of his hole, and that's where the brown dirt is. And what's so cool about this car is that like the entire car, when you go around, it's like one cartoon. Because it starts here, the grass and dirt mound continues here, and as you can see, Bugs Bunny is leaving his hole that you see that was on the hood, and he goes that way, and he heads out into the back, where you have all this grass, and then Bugs Bunny is checking out the rear. Then on the right side here, you got the grass, and he's walking back, because then you see another dirt mound, and then what I'm assuming is that the grass then goes down, and that's where Bugs Bunny then goes back down into his hole, and then back on the hood it starts all over again. So very, very interesting way of promoting Bugs Bunny and Jeff Gordon's car again. And then the last thing I really want to talk about with Jeff Gordon's car then is that it is a completely unique car, and the sponsors, the one thing that really makes this car work well and the Casey Mears car, the Squidward car, not work, is that each company was able to fairly and evenly promote both their stuff at the same time. Because you do have Bugs Bunny and Looney Tunes everywhere on the car, but DuPont also stands out as well. Because you got the DuPont here, then you got DuPont here on the side, and it stands out because the Casey Mears car, you remember, it's just all Squidward. And since there are no decals, just nothing else is added on, which makes it a poor looking car. So overall, I love this car, absolutely unique car, lots of thought was put into this car, and so because of that, I do give this car 5 stars. So definitely a beautiful car. I'll quickly put the two cars together. So there you go, here's Gordon, here's Patrick. Patrick's car, as you see, is a Gen 6 car, while Gordon's car is a Gen 4 car. And one thing I actually kind of find funny is how the blues are really identical with each other. And that is pretty much it. So as you can see here, the cars are together. And I am going to go ahead and wrap things up here. So that'll do it for this episode of Grift Dog's Diecast of the Week. Let me know what you guys think of both of these cars. And then what else would you guys like to see? What other cars would you potentially like to see be reviewed down the road? So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I will see you next time.